This was me at 22, fresh out of the closet, wide-eyed, naive wannabe actor, and chronic underlying abandonment issues left over from childhood. Yikes. That's not a very stable foundation to have going into adulthood. Fortunately for me and my former insecure self, I've been able to discover and identify my core values that have guided me into the man I am today. Core values are our beliefs and priorities that drive our behavior. It can also be described as our internal compass or a description of our character. These values define who we are and let us know what we're willing and not willing to accept. I'm going to go over my 3 core values and my experiences that cultivated them. At 22, when I was first experiencing gay culture and the gay nightlife scene, I went out often with friends to socialize, and for the first time, I felt accepted and that I wasn't alone. I went on first dates and had my heart broken repeatedly. But some of the worst parts of these things were when a friend would cancel on me or change plans at the last minutes, or when a guy would ghost me, or when I would go on a date, but it was obvious that the guy only wanted to have sex and not actually get to know me. All of these encounters left me with this pit in my stomach, and sometimes crying myself to sleep. I blamed myself. I felt that I must be doing something wrong, or that who I am was never going to be good enough for other people to want. Over time, I started distancing myself from people who treated me that way before giving them a lot of my time and energy, and I began to act in the way that I wanted to be treated. That meant not making excuses for my behavior and learning how to say what I mean and do what I say. I valued integrity, and that became a core value of who I am. My next value also originated when I was young because as a kid, I was always the goody-goody and adhered to the rules. My parents divorced when I was 9, and this was my first experience with a situation that was completely out of my control and literally changed everything about my life and my sense of identity and shattered any sense of stability that I had. This began a subconscious need for a sense of safety and stability. There were other experiences in my life, such as a car wreck, that wasn't my fault, but it was another situation that I had no control over and yet had extensive consequences. It was through these experiences that I learned that fairness is also one of my core values. My last core value is kindness. Being gay has profoundly affected my life, and all of the ups and downs that I've gone through have shaped who I am. Like most kids, and especially anyone who's ever been identified as different or an other, I was bullied and made fun of pretty constantly growing up. And it wasn't just in school, it happened at church, happened with family members. While I will fully admit I have been unkind to people in my life, including my family, I don't enjoy being mean to people. My sense of humor is often very self-deprecating. I'll make fun of myself to make a joke or to get people to laugh because I know how I feel about myself, but I don't know what anyone else might be going through. And being kind costs me nothing. I remember how it felt to be bullied just for being me, and because of that, I value being kind. Those are my core values. But why are they important? Well, one reason is that success in relationships often comes down to shared values and communication. So knowing what your own values are can be particularly important when it comes to dating and choosing people who you'd be most compatible with. If you'd like to identify and define your own values but don't know where to start, here's a few things you can do. Click on the link in the bio for a list of common values. Identify around 3, but no more than 5, that resonate with you, and then define them. What does that value mean to you? Would you ignore that value during a time of stress? Ask yourself, honestly, if there was an amount of money that you would give up that value for. If someone offered me $1 million for my integrity, I wouldn't take it. And lastly, would you give up that core value if, at a point in the future, it caused you to have a competitive disadvantage? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then that is probably not one of your core values. Pick another one from the list and ask yourself those same questions for that one. I hope I was able to give you some insight into core values and how you can identify and explore your own. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. Click the subscribe button to be notified for my next one, and remember, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you soon.